next story. Takumi Minamino. Obviously, there's been a lot of discussion around him leaving this summer. It looks like it is going to happen. The fee is being 17 million, so a nice 10 mil profit on him. The 5 clubs who have been linked with are Southampton, Wolves, Monaco, Bournemouth, and some Leeds. And some, so there's a fair few Premier League clubs interested in him, but Foot Mercato are saying that Monaco are determined to be Premier League competition to sign Liverpool's Takumi Minamino for 17 million. Damon, it's a good signing for anybody in world football due to his commercial push, isn't it? We saw it when he joined Liverpool, and I think I'm right in saying Ronaldo might have overtook him, but at the time it was the most liked tweet of a football player announcement. It beat Eden Hazard's, which was the most for Chelsea, I think. So, if you sign him for 17 million, you're going to get that money back straight away, aren't you? So it's a good thing. But more on to Takumi Minamino. I think joining the French league would be good for him. I think he'd excel there. I think the Premier League's a bit too physical for him, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think you're right with that. I think the French league, the French league, if I'm honest, if he comes in on the right where you got Ben Yedder up front, I think that could be a lethal double back with him and Minamino. Like you said, I think he's not physical enough for the Premier League. He tends to turn up for the cup games, and then they're against lower opposition. He's done brilliant for us. Don't get me wrong, he's done brilliant for us in the cups, and if it weren't for him, we wouldn't be winning any cups. We would have won nothing this season. So, in the player that we all thought he was he really? When we got him from Salzburg, Klopp was licking his lips. I think every player we get from Salzburg will lick his lips a little bit, don't we? Because they provide some absolute talent. They develop some talent. The Salzburg, a team to watch all the time. Again, with Adeyemi, that's why we're linked with so much with Adeyemi. But Taki, I still think he's a player that there's a lot of people that like him, but I don't think he's a player that we want him to be. Is it? And people say, I'd love for you two guys to answer this. Is do you reckon we could buy players that are good enough for first team but have them on the bench? Because I see this problem with Liverpool fans. They say but they're not going to come because they're going to be back up to Salah. Why not? Man City have Grealish on the bench and they paid 100 million for him.
Yeah, I think
why can't they be on the bench for us? I'm not saying we're going to put £100 million players on the bench, but why can't they play it and be face competition?
I think the issue is Takumi Minamino isn't good enough to bridge the gap to the likes of Mohamed Salah. We saw it with Diogo Jota. We saw it with Luis Diaz. They got the chance similar to Minamino, but they just didn't perform. They performed, Minamino didn't. So they're challenging, and that's something we need. We probably need a rotation of 6 players up front who can all challenge each other, who can all, play in different positions. And
I think we need someone to pressurise Salah as well, because he's been getting away with absolute murder in the last few months. You saw what happened to Mane when Diaz came in. It gave him a new lease of life. That's exactly what Salah needs, I think.
Yeah, but it's the thing is, no player wants to come in as a bench player. I think Nunez is coming in because he knows he's got a shot at, he's going to be starting. I think Luis Diaz came in because he knew he could probably push. I think Diogo Jota probably did come in as a bench option, but he pushed his way into the first team, and that's something that we need. We need people who are willing to push, but I don't think Takumi Minamino has that mindset. I think he's happy to just chill on the bench, which is a good and a bad thing, because he's sort of just chilling there, but he's not good enough to, like Divock Origi.
Levels drop off, don't they? Levels drop off.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can't afford to do that.
Yeah, and Minamino isn't clutch like Origi is. Like Origi has the quality. It's just, it's hard to explain. I just think it's different with Origi than it is to Minamino. Like, I know Origi can produce a magic moment, but is Minamino.
I think there's quite similar players as well. I think that in terms of ability, they're quite similar players. But like you said, Origi just has in clutch moments, and that's what you need a bench player for.
Yeah, I mean, Kev, what are your thoughts on Minamino moving to Monaco?
Me personally, I think if he goes to Monaco, it's perfect for him. It's a better league for him. I think the problem with Liverpool is, and you can see it in his demeanour when he's been around the players as such. He seems a bit of an introvert. He's not really. He's very sensitive when he's around the players and feels as though he may be out of his league in a way with how well our team is. You see that, and you get a sense of that when he's playing as well, that he doesn't feel confidence on the ball, and when he is tactically gifted, but it's easy to get him brushed off the ball because of his size. Against the minnows of the league, he's done really well and has played well. Southampton being a prime example. The League Cup games, the FA Cup games he's played, he's looked well. Again, though, against sides below the Premier League or in the bottom half of the Premier League, he hasn't really done it as such for me. I'd love to keep him myself personally. But if you're giving me 17.5 million for him, I'll snap your hand off and I'll take him and I'll fly the plane over there for him to take him to Monaco. Do you know what I mean? Because I think if you're getting that kind of money for him, it'll be great. With what Damon's saying though, I agree with him in the sense that why can't we have players of 100 mil being put on the bench and buying that? I think that will happen with Nunes at some point because, you know, we're all expecting to come in off the back foot and do what Luis Diaz did, but I can see him starting on the bench certain games, and what Salah's noticed recently, especially in the FA Cup final, is that, you know, if you're not playing well, not the FA Cup because he came off injured, but in certain games leading up to that, he was coming off he was getting benched or wasn't starting games because he wasn't scoring. So he's starting to feel that. I do agree he needs a bit more competition out there, but I don't think it's an incentive though. But for me, yeah, Minamino. Thanks for all your goals and in the cups, and thanks for delivering the cups to us. But see you later, mate. Enjoy yourself in Monaco.
Yeah, do you know what? I think the thing with Minamino is every player in our squad has an identity. You know what Salah's going to do. They're all different too, to a sense. You know, maybe Mane and Salah are a bit more closer, but you know Salah's going to try and cut in, take on players, and try and kill it into the top corner. You know, Luis Diaz is going to be direct. He's going to be, you know, trying to more of energy, you know, Origi's game. He's got to come on and try and be clutch. For me, you know, he's going to be a false nine. Jota as well. He's going to try and, you know, lurk on the edge of the box, get into positions where maybe other players couldn't. You know, even when we had Shaqiri, he offered a different dimension to us, a goal-winning dimension. I just don't think Takumi Minamino has any of that to offer. I think he's just a good winger or a good false nine or a good centre forward. You know, I think if someone was to build the team around him, then it'd be great. But we can't afford to do that. And you know, now with Darwin Núñez, we've added another dimension to our game. You know, we've now got a centre forward who's tall, extremely fast, and if we have, I think if we do lose him, we'll probably bring in somebody who is a bit different, like, you know, even an Asensio. You know, Asensio's a different player to anything we have, or another winger, or maybe another midfield wide player who can offer something different, because we've really struggled this season, especially with breaking down teams, and I think that's why we're going after Núñez. So, you know, Diaz massively helped when he came in as well. So, you know, 17 million, though, it's a deal that I think we have to take. As much as it'd be nice to have him chilling on the bench, he's only on 75 grand a week as well, so it's not like it's mega money. I think it's bang in the middle with the likes of Canate, people like that. So if he wants to stay, I'd let him stay. But if we can't be turning down 17 million.